to educators from across the Bay Area about how families and teachers are dealing with the pandemic as schools continue to be closed since last spring. Back to School, Coping During a Pandemic airs tonight at 9:30.
You're watching KRON On, streaming now from KRON 4, the Bay Area's local news station.
Thanks for joining us here on KRON On. I'm Noelle Bello. While most schools continue with distance learning, an elementary school in Santa Clara County is now back open for in-person classes. Joining me now is Primary Plus Private Elementary School Principal Michelle O'Hara. Michelle, thanks for joining me.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, and I know that you're probably pretty happy. Yesterday was the first day back in person. Talk to me about how it went. How was the students' response?
It was fantastic. The students are very excited to be back on campus. The teachers are very excited to be back on campus. And of course, as you can imagine, the parents are very excited to have their students back on campus.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know a lot of parents had been struggling to do their work from home while also teaching from home. So it's definitely been a different start to the school year. You guys have close to 200 students there at the school, so you're a little smaller, which means you were able to implement some solid social distancing measures in the classrooms. Talk to me about what you guys did to reopen safely.
So we have our desks that are 6 feet apart within the classrooms, and there's hand washing that happens during every transition. And when they enter the building, when they go to leave the building, in addition to the social distancing in the classrooms, anytime that the students are outside sitting on any benches, they are marked for where they are allowed to sit. And we also have staggered our drop-off times and our recess times and our lunch times to ensure that the distancing is taking place between the stable cohorts of students.
Okay, so there's lots of differences for the kids for sure, but I know that a lot of them crave that kind of just the idea of being in the same atmosphere with their fellow students. I know is going to be helpful for them. I assume you took you got some feedback from families and teachers as well before making this decision to come back. So I'm just kind of curious, why did you feel that this timing was best for your students and the teachers?
We very quickly went to begin the school year as everyone else has with distance learning. And at that same point, we decided that the most benefit for our students is to be in person, in addition to the safety of the students and the staff being our very top priority. So in order to make sure that we are creating that safe environment for everyone, we adhere to our very strict guidelines and rules that we have in place, not only for our staff and our students, but also for our parents who are coming on campus and dropping off. And so it is definitely a learning curve for all of us, and we are getting used to the routine of it. But we are very excited to have everyone back on campus.
Definitely. There are no after-school activities or anything like that, though, right?
There are not. So we are, our extended day program in the past has been very rich with those types of activities, but we're not at that stage. So we want to make sure that we are not having anyone on campus who is, could risk our exposure.
Right. Talking about exposure, if someone does end up getting sick, can you talk to me about what the protocol is going forward? How will that affect the school year?
So the protocol, our teachers very quickly and carefully created a schedule and utilizing a platform that is easily transferable and accessible between the classroom and if we do need to do distance learning at home. So it's the same platform, whether you're in person or whether you are at home. And so if someone does get sick and we need to quarantine a cohort, it's very easy to keep the education going.
Okay, cool. And I know that, some schools were talking about, giving students and families the option to continue distance learning if they didn't want to go back to the classroom. Is that something you guys offered as well?
So we did. So we were very excited to be what I feel is though a pioneer in what we're doing right now. So we have our teachers teaching students in person, but also live streaming their classrooms over Zoom to those students who are still at home.
Okay.
So meeting the needs of both the in-person and the at-home students in their classrooms.
Yeah, having that option I know is really important for some families. Looking ahead, what are you most excited about? I mean, we're now in day 2. You said day 1 went really well. Are you just kind of taking it day by day and enjoying each day as they come?
At this time, yes, just because everything is so new, and it's definitely keeping us on our toes. And it's a school year like none other that we have ever seen. So just going with the flow, trying to make sure that our staff and our students are safe and healthy and happy.
Any advice to fellow principals out there who are kind of working on these plans and trying to get in your shoes?
Stay strong, that it is feasible, it is workable, and it is very, very beneficial.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ms. O'Hara, for talking to us and giving us an idea of what in-person learning may start to look like for different schools across the state. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, California's Health and Human Services Secretary, Dr. Mark Gailey, is holding a